Hey guys, so here's a quick tutorial on how to start your house project. I just chose two random points here, -9, 7, and 6, -6. And if you hit the label button, it'll actually put the coordinates on the graph itself, which I think is kind of helpful. So first thing I need to do, this is going to be the bottom of your house. So I need to find the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. So just like we've talked about before, when finding the equation of a line between 2 points, if I'm given 2 points, the only thing I can find first for the equation is my slope. So I put this in my slope formula here, and I end up getting -13/15 for my slope. Once I have slope, I put it in point slope form. So here's M, and I plugged in 7 for y sub 1. I plugged in -9 for x sub 1. And when I do all that, I get into slope intercept form. And the key here is to make sure that you have this in improper fraction form. That's how you're going to need to set it up in order to get full points on this. So when I plug that in, y equals -13/15 x minus 4/15. Type that in. Y equals -13/15. And notice the cursors on the bottom in the denominator with 15. I tap over to the right, and then I'm able to type in x minus 4 divided by 5. And notice it goes through those 2 points correctly. If it doesn't go through those 2 points, either your slope or your y-intercept is off, so you're going to have to check that again. So that is the base of my house. Now I need to make it so that the rest of these lines don't show up, because I don't want the lines to go on forever. So I'm going to set my domain and range. So notice here my domain, if I'm using x, is going to go from my x values -9 to +6. Those are my x values. If I wanted to use y, my values would go from -6 on the bottom to 7 on top. So I'm just going to use x. In order to do that, bottom left, hit ABC. And I go -9. And I use this bracket here, located at the bottom there in the middle. And I go -9 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6. And it'll automatically put the other one. So I just tapped below that to start my next equation. So there's the base of my house. Now, we don't want this house to be leaning, so we want it to be perfectly up and down. So although the base is at an angle, we want the walls to be perpendicular to that base. So if this slope is -13/15, think about what you need for the slope in order to make it perpendicular. So when I do that, I get my perpendicular slope, and I know it's going to, in order to go through 6, -6 at the bottom right here, I want to this point, 6, -6. So I have a point, 6, -6. And I have my slope, 15/13. I have a point and a slope, so I plug that into point slope form right here. And I eventually get this with an improper fraction of -168/13. So I type that in. Equals 15/13 x minus 168/13. And notice it goes through 6, -6 perfectly. Now the key is I need to find a point on here, on this green line, that's exact. so that I don't end up with some weird decimal for points. So the simplest way to do this is use my slope. So since my slope is 15/13, if I just count up 15, I go up from 6, -6, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I go right 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I eventually get to the point 19, 9. And notice 19, 9 falls exactly on that line. And I'll go ahead and label that 19, 9. Now, if your slope's something else, I wouldn't make it if your slope is something small like 2/3, I wouldn't go up 2, right 3. That'd be a really small house. So instead of going up 2, 3, a fraction that's equivalent to 2, 3 would be 20, 30. So you could make it way taller. Or if you didn't want to make it that tall, just multiply it by 6. So it would be 6 times 2, 12, over 6 times 3, 18. So 12 eighteenths. However you want to do that. Whatever makes the most sense. But I would definitely choose a point that's on the line that comes out evenly. It doesn't have a decimal or anything like that. So that's my third point. Now I need to make the wall that goes through the point -9, 7. So my slope on that one is going to be 15/13, and it goes to the point -9, 7. I have a point slope. I put it in point slope form, and I get y equals 15/13 x plus 2 26/13. It's 15/13 x plus 2 26/13. Oops. There we go. And notice it goes exactly through -9, 7. Then from there, I'm going to need a point, I'm going to need the top of my house. That's not yet the roof, but it's going to be parallel to my blue line and goes through the point 19, 9. So it goes through the point 19, 9. That's the point that I just found. Like I said, just find a point using your slope. That makes sense for the height of your house, and they come out to even numbers with no decimals. My slope is -13/15. I have a point and a slope. I put it in point slope form. I solve for y and get into slope intercept form. So I get -13/15 x plus 3/2 over 15. There we go. And notice it goes through 19, 9 perfectly. So I've got the box. I've got the box of my house. Now, last step, or second to last step, I need to find a point that's somewhat in the middle of all those. So I'm going to find a point that looks like 20, 24. Looks pretty good to me. To me, 2024, if I decided to construct a roof, that looks like it's pretty much in the middle. Now, if I did 2026, that would be just fine. Again, I would use an even number, just makes your life easier. So if I use the point 2024, I'm going to construct a line that goes through the point 2024 and 1919, or 19.9. So I have 2 points. I'm going to find my slope. Once I have slope, I'm going to put in point slope, put in slope intercept form, and then I'll construct that one. And for all of these, remember, you're going to have to put in the domain and range. So like for my green, notice it goes from my x values, actually I'll use y this time, goes from -6 to 9. So bottom left again, I use my bracket that's there in the middle, and I go -6 is less than or equal to y less than or equal to 9. Mr. Orr, why'd you use y that time? Why didn't you use x again? It doesn't matter. I could have done -6 is less than or equal to y less than or equal to 9, like I did, or I could have done 6 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 19. Either way, I would have gotten the exact same result. So I trim up all those, I construct my roof, and then the only other one I have to do is if you tap at that intersection point, it'll tell you which one it is. So then my next one I'll do is through the points 4, 22, and 20, 24. I'll construct that line. That's going to be the left side of my roof, and there you have it. Last thing I want to make sure you all know, if you haven't already created an account, make sure you do so. So in this top left, in the black there, notice I named it House Project Algebra. Make sure you put yours in there with your name in the title. So yours should say House Project John Doe or Jane Doe, whatever. So I know that it's yours. Then make sure you hit save. Also, when you screenshot, make sure it includes your house as well as all the equations in slope-intercept form, not using decimals. It has to be improper fractions in order to get full points. You'll include all that on the sheet that I gave you that has the rubric. The first page is the rubric. The second page shows all your work as well as the equations and the points that you used. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. Hope this helps. Bye.